destination of my grave. He says, take all my wealth, take all my belongings and put it on this road as we travel to the grave. Number 3, he said, when I am placed in my coffin, he says, leave my hands visible and apparent from the side of the coffin. So everyone can see my hands on both sides. The wise men asked him, they said, Alexander the Great, why these 3 wishes? What is the importance? What is the understanding behind these 3 wishes? Alexander the Great said, he said, number 1, I want the world to see when they carry my dead body, that doctors were carrying his body. Doctors, people who are qualified in medicine, all of them there, irrespective, they couldn't save my life. Because my life is in the hands of God alone. And the second thing he said, why I wanted my wealth to be displayed on this road to my grave? He says, because I want the people to see that all this wealth that I accumulated in the world, it was meaningless. Because to my grave, ultimately is my destination. And I will go without any of this wealth. And the final thing that he said, the reason why I wanted my hands to be apparent from the coffin is I wanted everybody to see that I entered the world with nothing. My hands were empty, and I'm leaving the world with nothing, and still my hands are empty. This was a man of great wisdom. And this is something that he said, and we can take many, many lessons away from this. And I said in the initial and opening couplet that, many people promise you, many people say to you, we'll die with you, we'll live with you, don't worry, we'll always be with you, we're your friends. They always say this. But when it comes to that time of death, when you are placed into your grave, believe me, everybody will leave you. Mother, father, wife, children, they will all leave you. Sure, they will be there for a while, but they will ultimately all leave you to continue with their life. And all our life we spent pleasing these people, impressing these people, spending our wealth and our mal and jaan for these people. Why? In the end, they were going to leave you. And in that grave, when you will be alone and it will be dark, there, for those who believed and loved Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And when the angel asked the question, مَا كُنْتَ تَقُولُ فِي حَقِّ هَذَا الرَّجُلِ, what did you used to say about this man in the questioning on the grave? The ulama say, those people who were the ashikane diwali of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, at that point Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam will become visible for them. Do your wafadari, and make your friendship and connection strong with Muhammadur Rasulullah now. Why? Because when everybody leaves you in the grave, they will come Janab Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He will be our savior. And wallahi lazim, I often say this to young people. Imagine the thought, we see commonly people being lowered into their graves. We see this if we go to burials. Imagine tomorrow, you are placed in this grave, and in this coffin, and as you are being lowered, you will see all your family as you're going down into this hole. Think about this at night time. Reflect about this. Because wallahi lazim, this is a reality. This is where we are all going. And there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees for life. And when we understand this perspective, when we really are able to, sort of take this in, assimilate this information, that's when we will see changes in our lives. That's when we will see changes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in the Quran, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He does not bring a change upon a people of the condition of the people, not until they bring a change within themselves. Not until they bring a change within themselves. And I say this to you today. And this is not just for muhabbat, and everyone hears this and they go away and they say, yeah, as a community will bring a change. Wallahi, the community will only change, the people will only change, is when every single one of us change as individuals. Every single one of us make that change. We go home, we tell our wives, we tell our children, we tell our parents, we tell our siblings. Then you will see the wider effects in humanity. Then you will see the changes on a larger scale amongst the people. Then you will see the barakah. This will be the strength and the power in the ummah of Rasulullah Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Then you will see the barakah in your lives. Wallahi lazim, we live our lives and we wonder why there's no barakah. We wonder why there's no blessings. Make these changes within your life. Don't just take this information and say, mashallah, it was a good English message, or it was a good gathering that we had. Really think about these things. Reflect upon these things. This message is for me first. He said, we are asleep. He says, we people. He says, we're asleep. He said, we are asleep. He said, but we wake up when we die. When we die, we wake up. He said, but it's already too late. Wake up now. Hear these messages now. Return to Allah Rabbul Alameen. Return to the deen of Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Do wafa with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Tomorrow when you are in your grave, tomorrow when you will be all alone, as Al-Hazrat has said, Waha Sarkar ke chehre ki ziyarat hogi. And when you see the illuminated face of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, then there will be no one to give you troubles from that point. This is our Aqidah and our Iman. Inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it. I'd just like to say one or two things, just to conclude. I've had the permission of the father of Brother Harim, Shaheed, rahmatullah alayhi, may Allah elevate his ranks. I see the family on an intermittent basis. I see his father, I see his brothers, and Allah, let me tell you something. Their brother passed away at the age of 24, and he died from an aggressive form of cancer, and Allah took him at a very, very young age. He was completely well and healthy, and he was married, and he had all the things in his life going for him, career and everything. He was looking forward to life, recently married, and then all of a sudden he'd been diagnosed with a very aggressive form of esophageal cancer. And within 6 months, after a very, very tough fight and battle, he lost his life to cancer. And Allah it shows how things can change from one day to another. And believe me, I speak to Brother Khatib and Brother Hamza, and I can tell you this now. The sadness that I see in their face when their brother died, when I sit with them on their own, I still see the same feelings within them. I see that deep thought, and till now, wallahi, they can't accept and understand, and fully they haven't digested the idea of what's happened. They're still at a shock. And sometimes, even on my own, I think to myself, Brother Harim passed away. And it shocks me, it just comes as a shock, and I take, a big breath, and, I'm completely taken aback. He was 24 years old. Allahu Akbar, death can come at any time. It will not come upon your permission, upon your saying. We are not from the prophets of Allah. We can't do these things. And when it comes, it will definitely come. One message I've been asked to relay, alhamdulillah, Brother Harim during his life, he raised a number of funds for the treatment of his cancer, to have it cured. But it wasn't meant for him to have that cure. And the monies which were taken from the funding, they went through the system of probate, and that money was collected. And alhamdulillah ta'ala, he left in his wasiyat and his will, and he commissioned that money should be distributed for orphans and yatim in Pakistan. And alhamdulillah ta'ala, I can confirm that I've been a sort of figure playing a role in this process. Alhamdulillah ta'ala, Ustadh al-Ulama Muhakkik Britannia, Hazrat Alama Zufar Mahmood Farashwi Qibla, Mujaddidi from Manchester, who are also my Ustadh Garami, they have received that money in full into their charitable bank account. And alhamdulillah ta'ala, this will be dedicated towards their Yatim Khana in Pakistan. And here's something which is amazing. I tell you this, and you can ask his family, they will tell you this. Now before Harim passed away, he said to his family, in his wasiyat, he said, if I pass away, and he said, should this money not be used for my treatment? He said, I stipulate in my will that the money be used for a yatim khana. And you know what he said? He said, I want this yatim khana to be in Rawalpindi in Pakistan. He said, Rawalpindi. We don't know why he said it. We didn't understand at the time. And he said he wanted it to be in Rawalpindi. And alhamdulillah ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who makes sabab, and he is the one who causes things to happen in the way that they do. And the family spoke to me, I spoke to Qibla, and amazingly, their yatim khana is actually in Rawalpindi of Pakistan. And we pray that Allah Almighty raises the ranks of Brother Harim, Shaheed rahmatullah alayhi, without any limit for his wasiyat, and the entire amount will be used for the purposes of the Yatim Khana in Pakistan. If people want details about this, inshallah Aziz, we can give these details to them, and so they can see the works that are happening in Pakistan. Also, please pray for our brother, and please take away from the message that I've given you today, that life is short. My life, your life, this is in Allah Rabbul Alameen's hand. When we truly appreciate this and understand this, we will know time is short, and we will act in accordance with the way of Allah and His Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. May Allah give us the ability.